and gentlemen, the American cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. We're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Well, does this shock you? Special counsel says there will not be any charges filed against Joe Biden for his documents. By the way, they mocked Trump where his documents were and everything else. These documents were in a garage, in a Corvette, unlocked, scattered all over the place, different universities, classified documents that he didn't have a right to unclassified because he was a United States senator or vice president at the time. Joe Biden is running a full-scale criminal operation, which is the United States government. Plain and simple. They do everything they falsely accuse Trump of doing. TikTok, Osama bin Laden, the letter to America, which was anti-Semitic, anti-Christian, blah, blah, blah. He had some TikTok jackwagons talking it up like it was true. No, it wasn't. All right, Biden says Newsom can have the job. I wonder what Kamala Harris thinks of that comment. So it begins. So it begins. Remember what I said. Joe Biden, I called this a long time ago. Joe Biden is not going to run for re-election. He's going to resign or retire. It's going to be his last term, and he's going to pardon himself and Hunter Biden and everybody in the family going out the door. David DePape found guilty. This had to do with Nancy Pelosi's husband. The hammer attack. He was found guilty. G. Dinner. Yeah, let me see. Apple, $40,000 to have a dinner with G. Musk paid a couple grand. G gets treated like the conquering hero. Hell, there were more Chinese flags along the route than American flags being held by Americans. Apparently, Mace has got some dirt on McCarthy. We all know what that is. At least I know what that is. Here's what it is. He almost didn't get speaker last time around. This was like years back. Why? Because he had some marital things going down. So I'm sure that that's what it's all about. Tim Ballard, who was portrayed in the movie Sound of Freedom, allegedly been accused of some sexual abuse relative to some adult women. By the way, I'm not justifying it. All I'm saying is this. This has got nothing to do with all the work he's done bringing attention to saving kids. I don't know whether these allegations are true or not, but you know what? It doesn't change. This is the woke liberal media, CIA, FBI, everybody else trying to get Tim Ballard. All right, Patriot Awards last night in Nashville. I might go against the stream on these. These things make me puke. It is such a promotional bunch of BS. Patriot Awards. Really? Who's the biggest patriot? We're going to start doing awards on patriotism? Makes no sense to me. Except it's about Fox Nation trying to get some money to their base, from their base. No gag order for Trump, so Trump let it rip. I love it. Jim Jordan is subpoenaing records of Bank of America. Go get him, Jim. Pentagon has failed 6 straight audits, 6 straight years. Can you imagine the financial corruption in the Defense Department? Santos, the besieged congressman from New York, Republican, is going to step down. Ethics complaint was a little too rough. Candace versus Shapiro. Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson seems to be all in for Palestine. I'm telling you, just the way it is. Now, Candace Owens points out that Shapiro was wrong on COVID and the vaccine. Granted, doesn't mean he's wrong here. I tell you right now, I stand with Israel. Biden, this is unbelievable. This is probably as symbolic of anything in Joe Biden's entire administration to show what he's all about, how stupid, dumb he is. All right. They're going to let out grizzly bears back into the wild near places that they would maybe eat people. Is this some kind of sick game? Only Joe Biden's administration. Let's put people at risk with grizzly bears. They're probably chuckling at the White House. We'll see how many grizzly. They're probably taking bets. Which grizzly eats a human first? Gosh. Sad story. 21-year-old young pilot bagged the tower to make sure they tell his parents that he loves them before his plane crashed, and he died. Sad. Wow. I'm glad your son's not flying planes anymore.
Yes, so am I.
This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Local News. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Well, Christina Kozlowski took under the name Lisa Beck, a deceased girl, 13 years ago. By the way, this goes on all the time. I'm aware of parents who've taken their children's names because of, credit situations, whatever. This happened to be to run a criminal enterprise. Voskowski, she's part of the Polish mob. I'm teasing, I have no idea. Life for the bat death of your 5-year-old son. Why do we house this son of a bitch? For his life. He ought to be put to death. I do not get life imprisonment at all. Carlos Marshall, this kid, man, indicted on 10 counts child porn. You can't make this up, folks. This is bizarre. This might be for video clip. You can't make this up. You know what? He was enticing kids, underage kids, to send them nude pictures and whatnot. You can wear, not get, it's like rent for free, Yeezy shoes. Or is it Yeezy? How do you pronounce it? It's Kanye West shoes. You believe that? Here, wear these shoes for a week and give me some nude pictures, but I got to get the shoes back in a week. What the hell? Are kids that stupid? Double stupid. 1, to do the nude pictures. 2, for a pair of Yeezys or whatever. It's Yeezzzy. All right, Brett Hankinson, mistrial. Jury couldn't find a verdict. Melissa Neely, Laurel County teacher, arrested for drugs. By the way, this apparently was drugs that she was taking. They found out some crushed pills and whatnot. Doesn't seem like she's a drug dealer. They make it sound like she's a drug dealer. Apparently, it was just her. Kelly Prather, who I used to call Thunder Woman, big, strong black woman, big black leather coat. I liked her. She's been in this studio. Well, she's been indicted on election fraud. You ready for this? She collected 5,619 signatures. Only 4,576 were false. Kelly. Aaron Clark, 27-year-old, went looking for a chick he thought was only 13. It was an undercover cop. Duh. Doesn't he like somebody that could get busted? Yes. Local news. Assault on Madison Avenue. No details. It's come to Madison Pike now. Anna Blair, I want to give these guys Oracle status. Clara Heberling, 2 young girls from Notre Dame, 36 perfect scores on the ACT. Did you ever take the ACT?
No.
I did way back when. I got a 24, just to let everybody know. You know what cracks me up about this? If you get it, that boggles my mind. You don't miss a question. Crazy. John Stager, Taylor Mill Fire Chief, is retiring. All the best to you, John. In Ohio news, Pillage had made it official yesterday. She's running against Melissa Powers on the right. Melissa Powers on the right is a former juvenile judge, municipal judge, works with veterans. She might be a Republican, but she is a wonderful human being and a wonderful judge. I support her 100%. Pillage, the Democrat on the left, they're after one thing and one thing only. What can we do for the black race in Hamilton County? It's the way it is. It's sad. It's sick. All right. UC student government going to have a petition against Israel's bombing in Gaza. They're for Hamas. They can always claim they're not, but they're for Hamas. Cincinnati State, Kenwood dealership gave $1 million so Cincy State can train them some auto techs. Amazon is going to do 3 more Ohio solar farms. I hate solar farms. In Indiana, Timothy Armstrong, an Indiana school resource officer, was busted, apparently some improper communication. He was getting enticed by a beautiful 18-year-old. I hope she was 18. Bevan Van Wassenhove, another Indiana lady, she was busted for stealing like $60,000 from CASA. That's the Child Protective Services. Anyway, or the Child Guardian Company, organization. Bevan Van Housenhof. What a name. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.
Hello, you're watching Eric Deters World News, the latest headlines. A powerful undersea earthquake of up to 7.2 magnitude has struck the Philippines. The tremor, which lasted several seconds, occurred around 16 miles off Bucharest at the southern tip of archipelago. Scientists said no tsunami was expected, but residents were advised to be on alert for aftershocks and damage. There were no immediate reports of casualties. Police in Toronto has charged a man with murder who they say initially struck 3 people with a vehicle, including a woman who was killed. 2 people were injured in the incident that occurred in the city's northeast end, in the area surrounded by apartment complexes. 2 12-year-old boys have been charged with murder after a man was stabbed to death in Wolverhampton, England. Sean Ceesay, 19, was killed. The boys have also been charged with possession of a bladed article. Both children, who cannot be named due to their age, have been remanded in custody to appear at Birmingham Magistrates Court today. And dozens of passengers were injured yesterday when a Chicago subway train smashed into a snow removal machine in the northern part of the city. A total of 31 passengers were on the train, along with 7 Chicago transport authorities. Until tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, until Monday, have a great weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American German Bulldog Nation, welcome to Sports Without Boundaries. Well, I was so upset in the middle of the last night's game that I did a Facebook Live about it. The pass interference called. And finally, we did have the announcer, the color commentator, Kurt Herbstreit, say, phantom call. On that last drive, beginning of that, and it changes the whole game. Changes the whole game. It changes the whole game where they want to put Burrow back in, whatever the situation is. But they called a pass interference on Turner when Turner did not touch him. Now, I got to ask this question. How does a referee throw that flag? And why does the referee throw that flag? Why? And I'm telling you, you've got to be some kind of a dumbass not to think that referees, officials, top to bottom, umpires, sideline judges, you name them, are not betting or have their friends betting on games. If Jamie Spinley right here, I was an official. Josh Wentz, Sabrina, Jamie, they could be betting on games that I'm officiating. No one would ever freaking know. And I'm telling them what to do because I'm going to make one call that changes that point spread. It's unbelievable. I supported sports betting because people were betting on it anyway. So it was like, well, all for one. But it doesn't mean that I support sports betting. I don't bet on sports. And it's going to make it all even worse. And then what if you're a gambler, like Josh said a minute ago, what if you're a gambler and a team holds a player out? Player's hurt, whatever. The NFL, there's rumors going around, and I think it's a good reason, that it's scripted almost. Now, not scripted like per play, but they script who they want. I guarantee you the NFL prefers the Browns, the Steelers, and the Ravens. Now you say, well, what about the prior years? Well, they were so good, it didn't make any difference. So it's just sickening what's going on. And, of course, Burrow, they said he has a sprained wrist. Hopefully that sprained wrist will heal up. One good thing by playing Thursday, they have 3 extra days before their next game. They're not out of it, though. Remember, last year they went on a tear. The Bengals can win every one of their games if they're healthy. They get healthy, they could win every single game. They win every single game, they'll make the playoffs. All right, Harbaugh and Michigan's accepted the penalty. Now, here's why they did it, folks. They did it because Big Ten says no more investigation. In other words, they wanted to conclude it. And they're betting that, hey, let's get to the Ohio State game, hopefully win Ohio State game, and then they're in the national playoffs, and Harbaugh's back on the sideline. The Major League Baseball owners approved the Oakland A's going to Vegas. It's really sad if you're an Oakland fan. Really sad. You've lost your football team. Now you're about ready to lose your baseball team. Charlie Woods, 15 years old, won the Florida State Golf Championship. High school championship. Has a nice caddy there, doesn't he, Josh? Yeah. Nick Saban, you can't believe this. Guess what Nick Saban eats for breakfast every day? A cup of coffee and 2 Little Debbies. You believe that?
Champion.
Breakfast of champions. I love Nick Saban. Ohtani and Acuna, the American League and National League MVPs. It wasn't even close. Right. Philip and Tiffany Rivers. I mentioned Tiffany. She deserves mentioning. Philip and her just had their 10th child. Look how beautiful she is. My goodness, 10 children. Good for them. That's a bunch of love. Steelers, Browns, and the Eagles, Chiefs on Monday night are the only NFL games of note that I know you're going to give a darn about. Unless you're a bettor. NCAA men's basketball. Guess what? UK hosts Stonehill tonight. The Skyhawks. Hope they beat them. NCAA football, there's only 2 games I've targeted for that you're going to care about. Georgia at Tennessee and Washington at Oregon State. Those 2 games could impact what's going on. High school football playoffs, I covered it earlier this week. Good luck to all the teams that are still in it. And in soccer.
Football.
U.S. beat Trinidad Tobago 3-0. What do you think of that, world news?
It was okay. Disappointing game.
Did you watch it?
Highlights.
Reds projected starting lineup. I don't know who Sal Stewart is. Do you know who he is?
No clue.
He must be some great prospect down there. But I tell you right now, I love that lineup. James Madison, NCAA. By the way, there's 2 things on the Reds lineup. Where was Friel and where was Friedel? James Madison, NCAA says, nah, baby, nah. They had to wait because they jumped up to Division I. You have to wait 2 years to be part of the college playoffs. They asked for an exemption because they're 10-0, so they would be eligible for a bowl. And they said no. What a crock. I hate bureaucracies. I hate them. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, you ready for the big news in pop culture? Snoop says his wife's convinced him to stop smoking. Now, is this smoking cigarettes? Is it smoking pot? He can still partake with gummies. We need some specifications over this so we can all keep an eye on Snoop together. Do you know Snoop? He was in gang, L.A. Snoop was involved in some killings. Snoop had some trials that he escaped the noose. Snoop was big-time rapper. Snoop was on that side, East Coast, West Coast stuff. Snoop then, miraculously, it's unbelievable, transforms himself into a mainstream pop culture icon. Movies, television commercials, Martha Stewart, his own show. It's pretty amazing, isn't it, Josh Wentz?
He's a genius.
A damn genius. Snoop Dogg. All right, Dennis Rodman once babysat Doc Rivers' kids, he says. Who puts Dennis Rodman in charge of your kids? I think that shows very piss-poor judgment on Doc Rivers' part. But anyway, Dennis Rodman babysat his kids, and Doc Rivers said, the house was a disaster. Do you think Dennis Rodman had any rules? You want ice cream? Go ahead. You want to do some prank calls? Let's go. You want to tear up the living room? Let's do it. Unbelievable. Kid Rock has come out and explained his Bud Light position, and I like it. Kid Rock says he wanted to make a point. He made his point, but he's not for cancel culture. He doesn't want to hurt people that get their jobs working for Bud Light at the brewery, so forth and so on. They screwed up. He goes, I want to see something from them that shows that they're truly apologetic, blah, blah, blah. But he explained himself pretty good. And I stand with Kid Rock. I don't drink beer, so you can keep your Bud Light, but I think Kid Rock's right. All right, Meghan and Harry strike again. You can't make this up. Their phone call on Charles' 75th birthday goes public. Do you think Charles did that? Hell no. Meghan and Harry. And it's probably something either on purpose or dumb. Like Meghan shares the call with a friend who says, "Oh, I'm going to get famous on this." Do you believe that? Leak a personal phone call. I mean, unbelievable. Dex Carvey, 32 years old, son of Dana Carvey, passed away from and I'll be honest with you, I understand this because, you know, you're grieving parents or anything. They said an accidental drug overdose. That's what they always say. It's sad, man. It's sad. Obviously, Dex had some demons. Wrong body in a coffin. Can you imagine coming out and you're looking to see Aunt Jane, and instead it's a woman you've never seen before in the coffin? What the hell? Right. Crazy. What? That ain't Aunt Jane. All right, Travis Kelce. You know what? Travis Kelce, now granted he was a student athlete, but Travis Kelce went to University of Cincinnati. He had to take some classes, right? Travis Kelce is in like 96 different television commercials. I've watched Travis Kelce be interviewed. I've watched Kelce interact, obviously. Travis Kelce's a smart dude. Joy Behar, now this is going to be interesting because you would think Taylor Swift and most Swifties are kind of you-like, right? Joy Behar bashed, I hope the Swifties turn on The View, bashed Travis Kelce for being a dunce, dumbhead, she deserves better, he's an idiot, blah, 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 blah. Trashed his brain. I mean, what basis does she do that? And she's full of crap. And by the way, let me tell you something. I've had fun making fun of Taylor Swift and whatnot, but I support, and when I mean I support, I admire the hell what she's done. I'm not Taylor Swift, okay? But you know what? I'm rooting for him. Taylor Swift says unlucky in love. I hope Taylor Swift finds love and happiness with Kelce, and he does the same. You know what? Even famous people deserve to find some love and happiness. And you got Joy Behar trashing Travis Kelce, calling him an idiot. How's that woman keep her job? That says all you need to know about that network.
She's garbage.
Total garbage. All right, Bruce Jenner says, Caitlyn Jenner. You know what? I have to admit, I like Caitlyn Bruce Jenner. I mean, I guess because she's conservative. You know what she said? She talked his friend, Robert Kardashian, into divorcing Kris Jenner so then he could lap her up. Hey, Jamie, don't you think you should break up with Anna? Do you believe that? What a pal. He wasn't a very good mate, Jamie. No. All right. Did Anna go to Dickman's last night?
No.
Make sure she sees this show. Trevor Noah passed up Joe Rogan on Spotify. I say this. How? Who? Really? It must have been curiosity or something. By the way, last night I did a Facebook Live in this shirt, and somebody said I look like the Hulk, showing my arms. You're about that comedian that says it's hard to do comedy if you're good looking? I don't have to worry about that problem because I know I ain't good looking. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.